Hello, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Danerine from Peru, who will be sharing her experiences and insights with us. We are excited to explore her journey and discuss more key topics that resonated with many young leaders around the world. And our conversation will focus on the challenges and opportunities faced by youth in global programs like the Kectil Program and how language accessibility can empower more participants to get involved. Thank you, Danerine, for being with us today. Thank you for your time. And for the start, could you please tell us a bit more about yourself and your background, your journey at the Kectil Program for our viewers?
Thank you so much for everyone to mm, create this space for interviews. I think it's an amazing opportunity to speak more about Peru and the Spanish community. I think it's great. Well, my name is Danerine. I was born in Peru in 2005. Um, well, I'm 19 years old, and I'm political science studying in France. I migrated around 2022 to France. But well, I grew up in Peru all my childhood and my teenage years old too. It's a beautiful opportunity to connect with my people, to my community. And it's in Peru where I applied to Kectil in 2021 for the next course in 2022. So I'll be in Kectil continue this year. This is my second year in, no, this is my third year in Kectil. That's amazing. It's a pleasure for me to be part of this community because I discovered Kectil because I started as an activist and leader of social programs in my country during the pandemic. I think it's hard for everyone, but in my case, I rebuilt my plan of life. And that's the reason that I decided to spend my time in social programs for a good impact in vulnerable youth in my country. And I think it's the best decision of my life because with this beginning, I can connect with many beautiful people around the world, and Kectil is one of the biggest platforms for the youth that I discovered in that moment, and I permanent my opinion in that way.
Wow, that's really great. I guess it is really inspired for our viewers to hear your story. And before we move on, I want to remind our viewers that we already have interview with Danerine on our YouTube channel. I will put it somewhere here, or there
Yeah,
on our video, and you can go and see more information about Peru, our discussion about challenges that you face there. That was really amazing conversation and really, inspire conversation for even me. For talking about your country, about challenges for youth in your region, and it almost, I guess, 1 year. One
yeah.
year right now after last our discussion on YouTube, and today we have one of the greatest news for our viewers that we would like to discuss with. It is our new project that we would like to launch in the framework of the Kectil program. It is Spanish language opportunity to start participate the Kectil program, and I would like to discuss more with you, Danerine, about that, because you're one of the person that was joined the Kectil program from this region. There is mostly Spanish-speaking young leaders. And how do you think this new language that will be able for applications will impact participation from Spanish-speaking countries?
It was a great news for me because the reality in many Spanish speakers country that happen is the quality of the education, especially in the language areas, isn't the best. many public schools, has have the English courses, but it's not maybe the most important course that you at the school, or many other schools don't have that. So it's a barrier, I think, because I think the potential of the youth is present everywhere in all countries, but the language barrier it's a reality because it happened for me when I arrived in France. Like a short, for short, a long history. I arrived in France without any knowledge of French language, and I started from the scratch for learning that at the university, and it was hard, but I could do that, and I'm happy with that. But I know it's not the easiest way to introduce yourself in a quality program as Kectil. So if you want to prepare yourself and use all that tools from the program, the best way is to do in your mother language, right? So it's a pleasure to promote this version of the program because I met many people who have the potential to become a good leader. But in that way, I know you have a preparation, a course. It's not exactly a course at the school, but a good program where you can find the tools and the theory for putting the practice, right? So that's amazing, I think, news for promote for the community in Peru as well as in others Latin American countries, for example, right?
Right. And how do you believe offering the program in Spanish will influence participation from Latin American countries? Maybe you can bring some examples of such kind of program that you already have, or Kectil will be one of the first programs that doing such great things for the young leaders from this region.
Well, I know a couple of other similar programs. There are leadership programs too. But in many cases, these programs are applied just for a specific country, not the
Mhm.
continent, and this may be a barrier too because I believe we can learn from each together. So if you meet other people who are interested in the social impact or in a leadership programs, in general promote their ideas and start to create a project, you can learn a lot from the other people, right? So I think it's a good space for connect with others youth present in economical development countries. That this other important point, I think, because I participated in others program like a mentoring from Australia, for example. They're present around the world too, but it's in English too. Um, and I met other people who participated in boot camps. But in many cases, exists other barrier, important one too, that is the economical barrier because many people don't have enough money to pay this kind of programs where you can travel to other region or to other country, and it's so expensive in many cases, especially in Latin American. From my experience, I couldn't visit other countries different than Peru. So, and yes, maybe the like countries like Colombia or Brazil or Chile are neighborhoods for my country, but I couldn't because it's expensive to do this kind of trip. More if it's not a fully funded program. So I think the opportunity to create a leadership program in Spanish version is the best way to impact in their life because it's a great opportunity if as well as it's free, so it's amazing, I think.
Oh, great, great. Thank you for sharing it. And we will leave link for the application form below to this video too. So everyone who's watching us today, you can immediately to apply yourself to the Kectil program. And another question related to languages, as we talked today about it, in your opinion, Danerine, how important is it to provide global programs in multiple languages, and what impact does this have on inclusivity?
I think it's one of the most important pillars of a program because it opens an opportunity to create more networking sites, more networking relationship between different leaders from different parts of the world. For example, I remember when I attended in the conference in Atlanta, I met you, but also other people from other developing countries, and that's great because I can share with people that in my current life I couldn't because I don't speak their language. But that's maybe the magic or the power of the English, right? You can connect with many people from different parts of the world, and that's amazing. But it's a privilege to learn this kind of learning this language, and I recognize that. So I'm so happy. I'm so glad to promote the Kectil program for this reason because I think it's an inclusive program. Everyone can apply without any distinction from their ethnicity or their language or their origins in general. I think it's amazing, and it's a quality program, right? So I love so much these spaces. For me, it's a safe place for sharing my ideas, sharing my way of thinking. That's amazing, right? So I love for this reason to Kectil, and that's a reason too for staying that program for continue to impacting the life of others. So yeah, that's amazing, and thank you so much for Kectil in that way.
That's fantastic. I get Kectil program is the first program in the world that doing such things for the youth around the world, that opening new opportunities to start learning about leadership in different languages. I guess after Spanish language, we will not stop on that. But we will see in the future. I don't want to open all the cards and say anything about that. But at the same time, I haven't met any such kind of program that really open for the youth and helping them to get knowledge, to get really great networking from around the world. And what's I'm interested into asking you, how can participants of the today's cohort, the Kectil program, and alumni support the program in promoting and expanding language accessibility in their regions, or how they can help to promote Spanish language for your people?
And I think that the Spanish is a rich culture. The language is a rich language one too, and I think it's amazing because many countries, inside in Europe too, many people speak Spanish. So it's maybe the third or the fourth language more spoken around the world. So it's amazing to create a space for these people, and yeah, I think I speak in the name of all the rest of people where will be applicants for the new court in the Spanish version, that this a new space for creating good space for promote the leadership, because in many cases, as my country, for example, I talked with the others member of Kectil last weeks ago, I think about the corruption, the impact in their life, in the government too, in the society, and others important factors that affect our lives. So I think it's a good space for as a form a technical, not technical, but a good formation for know more about these issues that happening in the current life and it happening in our reality. And I think it's a neutral space without any preference in this political or religious side. So that's amazing.
Wow, thank you very much for sharing it. And we will have today short conversation, not as usual, because it's just the thing that we are starting to launch on the Kectil program, and I hope that everyone who's watching us today will support us. So please don't forget to ask your comments to Danerine. She will answer to you. Also, if you have some ideas or some initiatives that you would like to start doing, also please share with us. We will glad to meet with you and discuss more. And As we wrap up, what advice would you give to young leaders from non-English speaking backgrounds who are considering applying to the Kectil program?
I believe it's maybe so romantic, but I believe you have to believe in yourself, because I think it's the most important tool when you become a leader, because you will inspire other ones. You will impact in their life too with your action, with your words, or with your omissions too. So you have to think a lot, I think, but at the same way, you have to believe in your capacity to create good projects, good space for other ones, for creating a good result for your objective, right? So it's the best advice that I give you. But yeah, I think it's the powerful of yourself that you you can promote your opportunity like for another one. So yeah, I think it's my advice.
Thank you very much for sharing. And what do you hope to see in the future regarding language inclusivity in global programs like Kectil, or maybe in the Kectil program too?
I think Kectil will be a pioneer in that case because, how I say before, I couldn't discover other similar programs who decided to open for others language, and I think it's a good start for other ones too. So I hope others programs inspired by Kectil, and that's a good opportunity maybe for in the I hope in the short future we create more spaces as conference, virtual conference or in persons too, or events where you can meet other ones from others Hispano American countries, or yeah, why not? It's a good starting that way, I think, and many people will benefit with this program.
Thank you very much for sharing. And in the end of our conversations and or our discussions, we always have something from our guests that they would like to share with our viewers about the impact, about some motivation things. But today I would like to ask you to share with our viewers mostly more about the impact of language accessibility or your experience with the Kectil program that will be inspire them to participate in the next cohort or just to be a part of our big Kectil team.
Well, I think the in fact the language is not the barrier. The barrier is the lack of the accessibility for the education in that way for learning more language. And I want to promote more this motivation for learning other ones, for example, English, French, German, or Chinese, for example. I don't know. But I think the language have a power for connect with people. And in the other side, it's a privilege to learn a lot of language, like polyglotas and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's everyone has the capacity to learn a new language, I think. Uh, and maybe in the future, I hope many Spanish speakers, Spanish Hispanophones, people can starting with this one. And I think it's a good opportunity to apply for Kectil program too, because we can access for many contents from English people or American people who speak English well. So it's a good opportunity to immerse in this language too, I think. And in the future, we create a bilingual or trilingual people. So that's a other maybe good objective for the long time, right? So yeah, for the long term. Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing. I believe that you inspired already everyone to join the Kectil program, and I believe that this year almost next year. But this year, application that we will receive, mostly of them will be from your original region, and I will be happy to meet with young leaders from this part of the world and even record with them interview, or maybe someone will assist me because I just starting to think about learning the Spanish language and maybe in the future I will be talk a bit in your language too. So, thank you very much, Danerine, for sharing your experience and insights with us today, for really great thoughts about languages, about the Kectil program, and your perspective has been incredibly valuable, especially as we explore the importance of language inclusivity in empowering young leaders around the world. And we appreciate your time and contribution to that. And we look forward to seeing the continued positive impact of the Kectil program in your region and beyond. Thank you very much, Dandarin.
Thank you so much for this space again. I hope this interview motivated more people to apply the Kectil program, because this, sincerely, uh, from I started in the program, I think my life changed a lot. So that's a good beginning for other ones to create impact and become a leader.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And for our viewers, once again, I remind, please don't hesitate to share your comments, your thoughts with us. Follow us, like our videos, and subscribe to our channel for not missing our next videos and our next interviews. Bye bye.